Hello, everyone, and welcome to the My Paddle Stewards online course. My name is Erica Kleitz, and I'm an extension educator for Michigan Sea Grant. We're so glad that you choose to take this course, and we look forward to having you join paddlers across the Great Lakes who are working to help prevent and slow the spread of aquatic invasive species throughout our lakes, rivers, and streams. In this unit, I'll be defining what an invasive species is, the problems we see with them, how they get here, how they spread, and finally, more information about the My Paddle Stewards program, including the objective, goals, and a brief overview of what you can expect in the upcoming units. So to start with, to make sure everyone's on the same page, we want to define what an invasive species is. So for the purposes of this course, we'll be focusing on aquatic invasive species. But invasive species are any plants, animals, or other organisms that are non-native to the ecosystem and whose introduction causes or is likely to cause some type of harm to the economy, environment, or human health. Aquatic invasive species have many different impacts, including they can be a direct driver of biodiversity loss, they hinder economic development, they can prevent recreational activities and decrease the aesthetics. For example, our view, like we see these Phragmites here on the slide, that are reducing our view in many cases of lakes. And they can also serve as vectors of disease. So because invasive species don't have any natural predators, they upset the balance of ecosystems by disrupting native species, and they can reproduce and spread rapidly. So you may wonder, how many invasive species are there in the Great Lakes? And there's actually 187 non-native species that have been established in the Great Lakes. You can see them pictured on this poster here from our colleagues at GLANCIS. That's the Great Lakes Aquatic Non-Indigenous Species Information System. And not all of the species pictured here are causing impact. So they're non-native, but they don't become invasive unless they're actually causing harm. But you can also see by looking at this poster that there's a big diversity in the types of species. So we see fish, plants, microbes, mollusks, many other different types of organisms. I'm going to talk a little bit about how invasive species came to be in the Great Lakes and how they came to spread. So many invasive species that we have in the Great Lakes now traveled across the ocean in ballast water carried by freighters. Some were released intentionally, or some of them were released accidentally after being brought to the region for bait, gardening, aquaculture, ornamental fish ponds, or as pets. Here you see a graphic that shows the history of invasions to the Great Lakes Basin. And so each of those different colors represents a different type of invasion, a different source of invasion to the Great Lakes. So you can see that for a long time, ballast water, which is the bottom of this table, the blue section, was a very large introduction, caused a lot of introductions of non-native species. Can also see, looking at this graph, that there was a big leveling off, so that we used to have a rate of more like 2 invasive species being introduced per year, and now that rate has leveled off. And the main reason for that is because of the change in ballast water regulations. So that's caused that to be less of a source, and some other sources that you see there, like aquarium release or planted species, to increase as a source. Now we have only 0.1 new invasive species per year. So that's a rate that we haven't seen since 1847 to 1857. This is a heat map showing the number of invasive species across the Great Lakes Basin. These will be different invasive species in different places, but the darker colors means that there's more invasive species. So you can see that the lakes themselves, most of them are a dark red color, indicating that they have at least 80 to 129 different invasive species in them. And you can kind of see how that pattern varies as we go out into the watersheds in Michigan. So this is what's called the invasion curve, and it explains why we created this program and why we think that it's important to address aquatic invasive species when they're first introduced rather than when they become established. And the reason is just that the cost is a lot cheaper the earlier you can find them. So on the very bottom part, you can see that we have prevention. So the cheapest way to reduce impacts from invasive species is to prevent them from ever being introduced. After, so that means once a species is introduced, we find it quickly, we're able to control it, and it doesn't spread to new areas. So the longer you continue, the more time that a species has been present, the more the costs increase. So this program, the My Paddle Stewards program, is important because we want to help find species early on. So this is this window of opportunity over on the left, where we're able to actually find and eliminate species before they become established. In the rest of this module, I will talk more about the My Paddle Stewards program and our objective and goals, as well as an overview of what the later modules will cover. So we know that motorized boats are not the only watercraft that spreads invasive species throughout water bodies. So we want to prevent the movement of invasive species through boater education and awareness. And we designed this program with that in mind. So specifically, we want to change boater behavior to make sure that people that are using paddle boats, paddle boards, kayaks, canoes, etc., clean their boating equipment after each use. And we also want to increase people's knowledge of aquatic invasive species and encourage them to share that knowledge with other people. Our goal for you as you take this course is to learn how to download the MISIN app. The MISIN app, this is a way that you can report invasive species, and we'll have a lot more information about that. So learning how to download this app, use it to report invasive species, so that when you're out there on the waterways, you'll report AIS when you see them, and that you'll practice your native and invasive species identification and educate other paddlers. We know that paddle sports, so kayaking, rafting, stand-up paddleboarding, etc., are an increasingly common type of recreational activity. So this is a report that you can see from 2019, just showing some of those numbers. And so that's why it's important for there also to be a focus on preventing the spread of invasive species among this group of people. We do receive funding by Paddle Stewards program through the Michigan Invasive Species Grant Program, and we've now received 2 grants through this program. The first grant established the program and had events that were held in 2019, and also is when we first created the self-paced online course in 2020. And then in 2023, we received another grant for this program. This one is focused on a train the trainer model. So we want to train people who will go on to train other folks about invasive species. And so we are now hosting those events currently. These are some of the many partners that we work with on the My Paddle Stewards program. So this is very much a partnership program. We work with a lot of the watershed councils, paddling groups, the cooperative and invasive species management areas, or SISMAs, and other groups throughout the state that are interested in these same topics. So some of the accomplishments of the program so far, we have trained over 500 people through the online module, and we've trained 160 people in the 2019 program, as well as 54 people in the last few years of the program. So over 200 people have been trained in person with hands-on training, looking at plants and other species, and going on to share that information with others. And we've done these programs in all parts of the state. So you can see the state water trails highlighted here, but we've had programs presented in many different parts of the state. So now that you've learned how to define invasive species and why it's important to identify them, the rest of the course will provide details about the Michigan watch list species, the MISIN reporting system, Clean Boats, Clean Waters program. You'll be able to view a boat cleaning demonstration video and learn resources to help you out as a My Paddle Steward. There's also a few optional videos and documents to review if you choose to. We do focus on the Michigan watch list species in this course because those are the ones that pose an immediate threat to Michigan's economy, environment, or human health. And they've either never been confirmed in Michigan or they're present only in limited numbers in the state. So those are the ones where we have the best chance to find them quickly and to respond to those detections. And in fact, in 2023, the first hydrilla in Michigan was found And now the state is able to respond to that detection. So that's a good example of what we want to happen with this program. This is an example page from the online course. You can see that you'll find out the names of species. You'll be able to see where they're found in Michigan. You'll learn about their distinguishing characteristics, and what type of species it is. For example, this parrot feather milfoil is a prohibited species, which means that it is illegal to possess or sell the species in the state. Unit 3 will cover the MISN reporting system, which includes information on the desktop version, as well as mobile platforms for Android or iPhone. MISN can be used to report watch list species, as well as any other invasive species. And we'll walk through screenshots of each version, so you'll be able to see how the app works or how the online system works, how to report a species, and we'll also talk about what happens after a report is submitted. The MISN system is also a way to sign up. You can sign up for alerts. So if you're interested in finding out when a certain species is reported in your county, for example, you can set up an alert so that you would get an email anytime that a certain species is reported. You can also get detailed invasive species information through MISN, as well as take optional training modules. And there's quite a few modules on there. These help you look at similar looking species and you can compare what they look like. Finally, just a few reminders about boat cleaning. You'll be hearing more about this as well, but part of this course is to learn how to prepare your supplies to take out on the water. And then after you go paddling, to clean all of your boat, your paddle, your other gear to make sure that you're not spreading invasive species to new areas. And the steps for this are known as clean, drain, dry, and dispose. So the cleaning part involves inspecting and removing any visible mud, plants, fish, or animals, spraying disinfectant, and wiping down all of your equipment. Then you would drain your water from the equipment, then wipe down the equipment to dry or store equipment for several days out of the water if that's possible. And finally, you are going to dispose, throw away any living objects in the trash. So make sure that there's nothing on it before you transport to a new area. We do have a nice graphic here that reminds you of all the places in a kayak that you should check to make sure that they're clean. And you'll find this as part of our My Paddle Stewards materials on our website. You can also order free My Paddle Stewards materials. We have a rack card as well as a bookmark-sized handout in the Michigan Sea Grant bookstore. So if you're interested in having some of those supplies to use at events near you, go ahead and visit the Michigan Sea Grant bookstore to order those materials. All right, that's it for this portion. Thanks again for taking this course, and please let us know if you have any questions.